Hello everyone, welcome to all of you on my YouTube channel. I am Mr. Bharat Shedke, Assistant Professor working at Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samaj, Arts, Science and Commerce College, Ozarvik, Nasik. In this video, the purity of the precipitate that is known as post-precipitation is discussed. Co-precipitation and post-precipitation, these are the two types of purity of the precipitates. So sometimes the contamination of the precipitate is occur, and that is known as co-precipitation and post-precipitation. So when it occurs, then we can differ these two types of precipitation, and the post-precipitation are from gravimetric analysis. Now see what is the post-precipitation and how can minimize the post-precipitation, and also in this video we are going to explain the difference between co-precipitation and post-precipitation. The post-precipitation, the process in which precipitation of some components occurs on the surface of the precipitate after its formation is called post-precipitation. That means the precipitate is formed and the precipitate is allowed to stand with mother liquor for a longer time. Then some of the impurities in the mother liquor contaminates the precipitate. Then that precipitation is called as post-precipitation. That means impurities contaminate the precipitate after several times when it is in contact with the main precipitate, that is the post-precipitation. See the definition: the process in which precipitation of some components occur on the surface of the precipitate. So this is the main precipitate and this is another precipitate. So when main precipitate is formed, after some time some components, that means some other components which are present in the mother liquor, they are also adsorbed over the main precipitate after its formation is called as post precipitation. That means initially there is no contamination, there is a pure compound. So once the pure precipitate is formed, the main precipitate is formed, then some another components they adsorb over the main precipitate and contaminate the main precipitate, and that is called as post precipitation. So in co-precipitation, the contamination occurs in earlier stage during the formation of the precipitate, during the building up of the precipitate, but in this post-precipitation it is formed after the formation of precipitate. And when it forms, when some components are present in the mother liquor with the main precipitate, then it forms a post-precipitation, and these substances or this post-precipitation occurs with the substances, they are known as sparingly soluble substances, and they form a supersaturated solution that we already discussed in earlier video. So basically the sparingly soluble substances and they forms a supersaturated solution, that substances forms a post-precipitation. And also one thing is there, when there is a common ion between the two precipitate, that means in the main precipitate and the another precipitate, when there is a common ion is present, then post precipitation is occur. So see the post precipitation, the amount of contamination increases with time. So when the main precipitate is formed, so at the time of precipitation the contamination is not occur, but after several time, after longer time, when the main precipitate keeps along with mother liquor, then the contamination increases because that other components adsorb over the surface of the main precipitate. So that means contamination occur and increases with time. Longer the precipitate is kept in mother liquor, then contamination is more and post precipitation is more. So amount of contamination increases with time, and post precipitation occurs with sparingly soluble substances which forms a supersaturated solution. So sparingly soluble means those substances have very less solubility, or they are practically negligible solubility, or we can say the solubility is less than 0.01 mole per liter. That substances are called as sparingly soluble substances, and which forms a supersaturated solution. So when the sparingly soluble substances forms a supersaturated solution, then post precipitation is occur. So this is the condition for the post precipitation. For example, in the precipitation of calcium as a calcium oxalate, if magnesium is present, then magnesium oxalate precipitation occur. So when the two ions have one ion is common, then the adsorption of that ion takes place, or we can say the post precipitation takes place. The example is calcium, precipitation of calcium as a calcium oxalate. If magnesium is present there, then magnesium oxalate precipitation is occur. That means this is due to the common ion present in that two substances. So this is about the post precipitation. So when we remember the post precipitation, so we can say the precipitation occur after the formation of precipitate. Some of the components adsorb over the main precipitate and contaminates the main precipitate, and that is called as post precipitation. Now the minimization of the post precipitation. How to minimize the post precipitation? So it is similarly like that co-precipitation minimization. Now see the first, the filtration should be carried out very fastly, very rapidly. So after that, the contamination by the impurities with the main precipitate, there is no chance. So that means filter out it rapidly. And next one is the concentration of impurity should be kept low at the beginning. That means at the earlier stage the impurity concentration should be low. So that's why we can remove the impurities and we can avoid the post precipitation. So these are some minimizations of the post precipitation. If we want to avoid the post precipitation, if we want to the contamination of the precipitate, then we can do the such things such as precipitate rapidly, as well as concentration of impurity should be low. Now see the difference between co-precipitation and post precipitation. We know that co-precipitation is at the earlier stage, at the initial stage, and post precipitation is after some time. So how can we can define, or what is the definition of co-precipitation? Co-precipitation is contamination of the precipitate at earlier stage, and post precipitation contamination at after the formation of the precipitate. Now see the difference between co-precipitation and post precipitation. Co-precipitation is maximum at the time of the formation of main precipitate, while it is opposite. Post precipitation is minimum or maybe zero at the time of the formation of main precipitate. So it is maximum, it is minimum. So it is maximum at the time of the formation of main precipitate, and it is minimum or zero at the time of the formation of main precipitate. We know that co-precipitation forms initially during the building of the crystal of that particular precipitate, and post precipitation initially zero, but after that there is a formation of post precipitation when the solution, when the precipitate is kept in that mother liquor. So this is the most important difference between co-precipitation and post precipitation. Now see the second difference. Co-precipitation, the concentration of the precipitated impurities decreases on standing. So that means once the precipitate is formed and now that precipitate is kept with that mother liquor, then the precipitated impurity decreases. So because the co-precipitation occurs only at the initial stage, once the precipitate is formed, no impurity contaminates the main precipitate. So therefore the concentration of the precipitated impurity decreases on standing, while in post precipitation the concentration of the precipitated impurity increases on standing, because initially there is no contamination, but after the formation of the main precipitate the concentration of the precipitated impurity increases. So that is the post precipitation. Now the third difference between co-precipitation and post precipitation. What is the third difference? The concentration of the impurity is generally less when the reaction is carried out at high temperature. So when the high temperature is used, then the impurity gets dissolved into that particular solvent. Once they get dissolved, then they cannot be a part of that precipitate, cannot be a part of that crystal precipitate, and therefore they does not contaminate the main precipitate. So when the high temperature is applied, then impurity is soluble and they does not form a co-precipitation. So this is the effect and of temperature. And now see, the concentration of the impurity is more at a high temperature, because initially they are soluble in mother liquor, and once the solution is kept for a longer time, then that particular compound, that particular impurity forms a crystals. They grow in size and adhere over the main precipitate. So that means by applying the high temperature during the reaction, during the formation of precipitate, then there is a concentration of impurity increases, while in co-precipitation concentration of impurity is less when the reaction is carried out at high temperature, and here concentration of impurity is more at a high temperature. This is the difference between co-precipitation and post-precipitation by applying the temperature. Now the fourth difference, the concentration due to co-precipitation is generally small, and the concentration due to post-precipitation may be even high as 100% of the substrate. So this is the difference between the co-precipitation. See what is the concentration due to co-precipitation is generally small or very small, while the post-precipitation concentration may be high. So these are the some differences due to co-precipitation and post-precipitation. These are the two purity of the precipitate, and we discuss this with a differentiation. That means the difference, or we can say the similarity between the co-precipitation and post-precipitation. So here the four differences are described between this co-precipitation and post-precipitation. So first one is, it is a maximum at the time, it is a minimum at the time. It is the concentration of impurity decreases on standing, it is also increases on standing. So concentration of impurity is generally less in co-precipitation and it is high. And now the concentration due to co-precipitation is generally small and it is generally high. Now see the next part, that is the conditions for precipitation. See the first condition, precipitation should be carried out in dilute solutions. That means dilute solutions and concentration solutions will be basically used for the precipitation or in gravimetric analysis. So for a better precipitation, use the dilute solutions. Then second condition, the reagent should be mixed slowly with constant stirring, because it keeps the degree of supersaturation very small and there is a allows the growth of larger crystals. So due to that, add the reagents very slowly with constant stirring, and due to that the solution is supersaturated, solution is very small and then allows the growth of larger crystals. So that is the second condition for the precipitation. Now third condition, precipitation should be done in a hot solution. Why it should be done in a hot solution? Because it increases the solubility of the precipitate. We know that at a high temperature the substance gets dissolved into that particular solvent. So therefore, when we use the hot solution during the precipitate formation, so it increases the solubility of that precipitate, and at high temperature the solubility increase and degree of supersaturation decrease. That is the most important. And also there is a coagulation increase. That means the coagulation means the gathering the crystals, gathering that particle is increase, and also the sol formation decrease. That is also the one condition when we use the high temperature, when we use the hot solution, and also the velocity of crystallization is increased. So these are some reasons. So due to that we can use the hot solutions for the precipitation formation. And now the crystalline precipitate should be digested as long as possible. Digestion means the precipitate is allowed to stand for 20-24 hours for a room temperature or for a 30 to 40 degree Celsius. So during that the pure crystal is grown and the size of the crystal is also perfect. So therefore, if it is possible, then do the digestion as long as possible. So due to that there is no chance to add the impurity over the main precipitate, and only the pure precipitate with perfect size is formed. So therefore do the digestion process. Then next condition, the precipitate should be washed with a dilute solution. So dilute solution is used for the washing purpose. Solvent may be water or may be organic solvent. Sometimes the pure water forms peptidation, so therefore use some another solvents. They do not contaminate with the main precipitate. So then use the proper solvent, and that solvent should be dilute. Then the last condition, precipitation should be carried out at a low pH as possible. So if we are using the pH solution, or we can say we are maintaining the pH, then maintain the pH as a low for the precipitation purpose. So these are the some conditions. So once again revise it. Precipitation should be carried out in dilute solution. The reagent should be mixed slowly with constant stirring. Precipitation should be done in hot solution. Crystalline precipitate should be digested as long as possible. The precipitate should be washed with dilute solution. Precipitation should be carried out at low pH. So these are the some conditions for the precipitation. In this video we discuss what is meant by post precipitation, then the difference between co-precipitation and post precipitation, and finally we discuss conditions for precipitation. So in next video we will discuss some another topic related to gravimetric analysis. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, then please subscribe this channel. Thank you.